We don't know, right? I think he did. But at this point, the
I have a
problem
feeling
is
he did.
discipline, team wide. We need to fix this problem. We have 3 losses in a row.
Yep.
We're not even in first place of our own division anymore. Shout out to Jed York for giving Kyle that extension way too early.
Oh,
Yep.
I hate that name. Oh my gosh.
Way too early.
And speaking of which, let me just run a few stats down real quick.
What's up, guys? I want to
The
say what's up.
penalty, what's up, Jay?
Dangle the
What's up,
carrot
man?
What's up,
as
Jay?
hard as you can.
The
You came in
penalties
the
were
middle of my rant.
we had 5 penalties for
No,
54
he came
yards.
in long before that.
They only had 1 for 15. Both teams punted 3 times apiece. Sacks, we gave up 2. They gave up 3. Total plays, 56 for us, 62 for them. Third down efficiency, we was 5 of 9. That's just over 50%. They were 3 of 8. So we were somewhat hanging in there. Total yards,
Does it tell
460
our
for
run
us.
plays versus pass plays?
It doesn't quite break that down, but I can do a tally of that looking at the player stats. I'd have to say rushing wise, Christian McCaffrey went 12 of 54. Brock had 6 for 57. Elijah had 3, and Juszczyk had 2. You do the quick math there, 17 plus 23. And over on their side, to flip it over, they had Joe Mixon going for 13. Joe Burrow went for 5. That's 18, 19, 20, 22 altogether for them as far as rushing. So it was relatively close with the plays and all. The big standout and standpoint was Joe Burrow had 283 yards on 28 completions with 32 attempts, but he had 3 touchdowns, no picks. On the other side, Brock Purdy was 17 of 26, roughly 65%, 256 yards, 1 touchdown, but 2 very costly and timely picks, giving them up in 1 in the red zone and 1, I think, about midfield. When you get that happening, it's taking points off the board. Receiving, I did see something encouraging. We went to George Kittle quite a bit. He had 1 drop, but 6 receptions, 109 yards at 18.2 a clip. While Brandon Ayuk, he had a blatant drop as well that I can remember. 5 receptions, 109 yards, 21.8 per reception. CMC did 5 of 36 for 7.2. Ray McLeod, respectively had 1 reception for 2 yards. On the defense, Tyler Noah Hufanga led all tacklers with 8 and 2 assists. Greenlaw 6 and 2. Isaiah Oliver, who flashed for me as well. I didn't catch the very beginning. Y'all said he got cooked. One time, was it Jamar Chase that got him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it might have been.
Jamar. He had 6 and 2. As far as the sacks, Armstead recorded 2 sacks. Nick Bosa a half a sack, along with Cleveland Farrell with a half a sack.
Hey, before anybody else goes, I do got to get off. Good talking with you guys as always. I won't be on Tuesday for our normal Tuesday show, but I'll see you guys Saturday or Friday night.
All right.
All right, man.
All right,
Can't
man.
wait.
Wait.
The rest
Thanks
of your
for
day.
joining.
Jason, have a good night, man.
Yep.
Have a good anniversary dinner.
I'm gonna start changing my "Go Niners" goodbye to "Let's not suck Niners."
Holy
Yeah,
moly,
I'm
isn't that the truth?
So pissed off. Y'all made my birthday bad, 49ers.
And happy birthday to
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Colt.
Thank you.
Did you get any cool presents?
No, because my 49ers didn't give me
He
no
just
cool
wanted that
present.
win, yeah. I know one he didn't get, yeah.
The only thing they weren't giving out today.
Stores all closed on dubs.
Man, I should turn this up so I can hear what Kyle got to say about this loss.
Yeah, he's talking right now. He's talking right now.
Yep.
Do you want me to Do you want me to plug it in, Corey? I can plug it into the
Yeah.
chat. We can listen to it.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. If you don't mind, Corey, show.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm piggybacking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you for the raid, Jay.
Bluetooth connected.
Yep. I'll try to help. Try to do the Tom Grassi thing. I know I don't have 1,000 people watching. So I had 30 people, so I tell them all to go to your channel. Don't know how many showed up.
Came down to there at the end, getting a little bit one-dimensional. Especially that pick when we're back to.
Hold on, I'm gonna start it from the beginning. All right here.
Quest
guys, with
for
injuries up for now,
6.
everyone returned back to the game, so we'll see if we have more for you guys tomorrow.
How many years is the Quest for 6 going to take? I mean, at this point, it's not looking like this year. And how long is this team going to be around? You know, we have some serious problems going on, and our coaching staff needs to fix this. You know, when our offensive line, the penalties, Spencer Burford coming out with penalties again. I honestly thought he was on an upward trajectory, but at this point, he is a mid.
Are we going to listen to the?
When it comes to trading for a guy,
I don't know.
let's talk to teams about getting a guard.
David McKnight, we trying to hear what the coach says.
Right, go ahead, play the presser. Play the presser.
See how you did that, how he did only 2 or 3 yards apart on the hash.
It's
Just
very low.
It, the timing of it, but it's just a clear route and in called dagger. It's very normal. Did it? We ran 3 times in the game.
Was it for the first interception? Kyle obviously was a big one down at the 10-yard line. Just how was that play designed to go? And
Dagger is one of his.
There's just supposed to be a handoff to him, and we missed the handoff. And he tried to scramble out of there, and by that time, you don't want to throw it down the field because people are run blocking. So we just missed the handoff and made a mistake after it.
What do you see from Brock right now? 5 picks the last 3 games, no picks the first 5 games. What's going on?
I made some bad picks there at the end. Thought he was one of the reasons we were in the game today. Some of those throws he made out there were unbelievable. Mistake in the red zone, missing the handoff was the biggest part. And then once you do that, you can't throw it, you're going to get the penalty. But on worse that he got the pick. He was aggressive, thought the mic was going to pass on that second pick, and the mic fell off right with Juwan. So just got to see it.
He was okay. He didn't have any.
Did he even answer that?
No, he wouldn't have been allowed to play.
I mean, right.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been allowed to play, but he felt like he was as sharp as usual.
I mean, he had those turnovers, but I mean, made some really good plays in the game. And when it came down to there at the end, and we're getting a little bit one-dimensional, especially that pick when we were backed up there inside the red zone, or the negative red zone was the worst one.
So you and Steve last week talked about, kind of marrying coverage to the rush. Did you think there were still some problems there in this? What did you see defensively?
I'll see more when I get to watch the whole thing in unison, but I thought, the first drive I thought was kind of, the most how the whole day went a little bit. I thought our coverage was really good on that 3rd and long. On the first drive, it looked like we had about 3 different opportunities to sack them. Took a number of hitches. We had a bunch of guys there, which means the coverage and the rush was good. And then he got out of there and somehow moved the chains with his legs. So I thought our tackling was extremely sloppy today, especially in the first half. I thought we tackled better in the second half. But yeah, there was too much space.
What was the message to the team that you're going into a bye week?
I'll talk to him more tomorrow. But my message was we got to take that. I mean, we didn't play well. That team beat us straight up. We talked about tackling better, talked about having less penalties. I think we only had 5, but in comparison to them, I think it was 1. And we had some ones in some crucial situations that gave first downs. But my bottom line to them was, we got to get better in every aspect. And the things that disappointed me today were some of the fundamentals of just throwing and catching, tackling, and some of those penalties that cost us.
Brock had some rushing yards from scrambles that he made plays on. But as far as your consistent running game, I know you ideally you like to get 40 runs if you can. Some of that's game circumstance, but last few games it's been rough getting it going. What do you think's playing into that? Yeah,
we haven't been able to create as much space in the run game. I got away from it a little bit there in the second half. And also I think we ended up 3 of 8 on 3rd down, which you got to do better on third down to be able to get that going. I thought we had a couple chances for creases, and the guys didn't make a tackle and just missed those. We had a couple good runs, especially the first one of the third quarter. We had a holding call, one on the first one of the game that got us in the 2nd and 1, and then the next 2 runs don't move the chains for us to go 3 and out on the opening play of a 8.5-yard run. So got to get some better looks, got to run better, block better, and just do better as a team.
Related to the second interception with that Mike just being further into coverage than he would be if the run game were firing?
No, we were in empty. So, I mean, they know we're throwing when we're in empty. It was just quarters. And Mike's usually there in quarters. He thought he overran it, and he didn't.
Some of the issues over the last 3 weeks, are there certain things, specific areas that are of major concern to you going into this bye?
I mean, I think I've kind of said all of them. I mean, there's not one thing I'm going to pinpoint. I think we need to run the ball better. We need to score more points. And we need to slow down guys down better, whether it's with pass rush, whether it's doing better on 1st and 2nd down. I want to say they had, I'm not going to say this exactly right, but when you get 20 first downs, and I think 17 of them were on 1st or 2nd, something like that. So we got to get in some more longer third downs. And when we do, we got to get them off the field with a sack if they hold on the ball that long and not let them break that pocket.
Is any of this that urgency to the trade deadline? Is that something?
No, none of this changes anything with the trade deadline, how we played today or how we played these last 3 weeks. When you sit and you watch tape, when you're out there on the field, and I know how these last 2 weeks especially have felt, but I do believe we have the answers in our building. I believe we have good players. I believe we have good coaches. It's up to me to get them to do better. I thought we started out pretty good, but there's some things that we haven't been able to hide here these last few weeks, and that's why we got to continue to push them in every aspect, because some people do go on these losing streaks and they don't have those answers, and you're just living in hope. I truly believe we do have the answers. I believe we got them on our team. I believe we got them with our staff, and we got to sit here and wait about 14 days to deal with this feeling that we have, which nobody wants. But I think we need to. I think our guys need to be pissed off a little bit. I think we need to come back with a little better focus because it hasn't been enough, and we haven't been getting it done.
What's your level of support or confidence in Steve Wilkes right
now? This isn't on any one coach or any one side of the ball. We haven't scored over 20 points here in 3 weeks too. So I think our defense needs to do better. I think our offense needs to do better. I think our team needs to do better. And when I say our team, I mean every single player in there, and I mean every single coach.
Blitzing today, that part of the kind of consensus, or was that Steve just saying it wasn't the right time to blitz?
It's going to be a little bit different each week. I think it looks like we did less today, and if we're going to, whether we blitz or whether we don't blitz, and what do we do throughout the game, we got to be sound football. You got to make the plays. Can't give that much space, and you got to get to that quarterback. When you don't get to that quarterback, you got to make tackles, and we didn't do any of that stuff today. So it's not just because of a call here and there or a style. It was a little bit of everything.
When you talk about how you need to have a little bit better focus, do you feel that, especially after the first 5 weeks, there's been a bit of a lack?
No, I don't mean that. I mean, I say focus because winning football games is about who does right longer for 3.5 hours. And I think in our first 5 games, we didn't always do right longer. We just made a bunch of plays and were able to get up on people and win by a couple scores. And I think when that happens, those little mistakes aren't as crucial. And it hasn't been the case these last 3 weeks. We haven't been able to overcome some little mistakes, whether it's a turnover, whether it's a penalty, whether it's a drop, whether it's a missed tackle. And that's kind of what I mean. You can't just focus in a game for 3.5 hours and pick that up. It's how you focus throughout the week, just to make every single play like it's the biggest play in the game. And we've gotten away with a number of stuff on our win streak, and we haven't in these last 3 weeks. And I still believe we've had every chance to win all 3 of these games. And that one got away from us the most. That's what's going to happen when we turn it over like they're at the end. And when we do answer and they go right down and score again, that was our opportunity to get back in the game, and we missed that. So it's not one guy. It's a whole team, but everyone has their part in it.
On some level, how surprised are you by the defense the last couple of weeks, given how well and how dominant at times they were?
I mean, every week I know there's a chance for it to go either way. I'm pretty realistic about the NFL, but I do expect us to get better these each weeks, and I definitely expected us to be better versus Minnesota than we were versus Cleveland, and I thought we'd be better today than we were versus Minnesota, and that wasn't the case, and that's why I got to look into it and find out why.
You scored 17 points in 3 straight games. How much can that be traced to Debo not being there and Trent being there? How much of an impact does that have on the offense?
I mean, good players allow you to overcome mistakes sometimes, and they can hide stuff, kind of like what I was saying earlier. I don't think we didn't score enough points because we turned it over on 1st and goal on the 7. I believe that we didn't do good in running the ball when we had some chances in 2nd and 1 and 3rd and 1 where I thought we would have stayed on the field. I always feel confident with our players that we're going to move the chains and score, and it's, do we not hurt ourselves? And that's not to take anything away from any other team. They make it difficult on you. But I think we've hurt ourselves a lot in these last few weeks too. And then when you get in those situations and you are a little bit more one-dimensional at the end and you're passing every time, yeah, you're going to notice not having Trent out there and stuff like that. But that's when we're already in that situation. I mean, we shouldn't have been there. And when that's the case, yeah, you can have some great guys bail you out of some stuff, whether it's Debo taking a screen to the house or Trent being able to hold up in protection longer. But by no means are those reasons why we lost these games. It's just harder to overcome. All right, thanks.
Okay. Number 26, he got burned twice for touchdowns. The first one, yeah, he got first one was with number 83, Boyd burned him. And then the next one was Chase burned him. And why not put Womack in? I believe Womack is on the injury list, right?
He's on injured reserve. I don't think they've even opened his practice window yet.
Yeah.
That's welcome. He and Luter should be back after the bye, right?
Probably so. Why start Brock today? It's impossible.
It's irresponsible.
Irresponsible mean.
I have to agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
The kid's coming off a concussion. How hard is it to fake it and get by the concussion protocol? You know, you just have to fool that doctor into signing you off, right?
Well, I also think Kyle wanted it too, because I remember watching somebody asking Kyle how confident or how much trust do you have in Sam Darnold, and he pretty much says as much confidence as you can have in somebody you've known for the last couple months, right? So to me, that's not a vote of confidence in Sam Darnold. So I think Kyle and Purdy both wanted Purdy to take the field. Because think about this: you're Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold. You don't know if he's got it. You haven't really seen it in practice, but you know he was a dude taken first overall. Who knows if he's going to figure something out? Do you want to give up your spot, your chance to give it? You were the 7th round, last pick in the 7th round. Do you want to let some Sam Darnold get a chance while you've got your chance? I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, he's
personally I wanted to see it.
Yeah,
Brock's a dog.
A competitor.
Brock's a dog.
He's gonna choose to play every time. You have to sit a dog down. You got to sit a competitor down. If you wait for him to say, hey, Coach, I don't really have it today. That's some Jimmy G stuff right there.
He might not even be thinking about himself. He might be thinking about the rest of the team. Like I owe it to the rest of the people on the offense and on the defense to show up and do my part. You know what I mean? Like that could be what's running through his head. But I don't think sitting and waiting was going to be his thing. Like Terradome, we played in the concussion era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you had to be a
out.
man.
Yeah, I ain't coming out.
Yeah,
you
had to be a man.
There
was no excuse.
They had to take your helmet if they really felt like you were juiced up. Pause. They would take your helmet. Hunter Durbin and them would take your helmet so you couldn't go in. But
Yeah.
if you give me a helmet, I'm going back in. You know, just point me in the right direction, tell me where to line up, and I got it. But
yeah, all these make sure y'all hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, subscribe. Like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
We're waiting for the next person to come up on the
right
podium,
now.
I guess.
I don't know if you can see it on they talking to Nick Bosa in the locker room though.
Oh, well, that's two different places.
Yeah.
And what he alluded to too was that first interception. He said it was supposed to be a handoff. I was jumping back and forth with you in the chat. I figured that was some kind of broken play. It looked like he was supposed to. I thought it was supposed to be a shovel pass, but everybody's just turned up and they're running. He said Brock missed the handoff. So sometimes, man, and we get this. He made a couple of throws in the third quarter, maybe the fourth quarter, that were really risky. Sprinting right and throwing that thing back left. It just makes me cringe. He pulled them off. He made the plays and they led, I think, to a score. But when it's not there, man, just don't try to get cute. Don't try to do anything. Just throw the daggone ball away, slide, run out of bounds. And what's inexplicable with these turnovers is they occur on first down. You have 1st and 10. Sometimes you're forced into an interception because we have no other means but for you to put that thing up. It's 4th down. It's 30 seconds left. You gotta chuck it and throw it as far as you can. That could lead to a lot of interceptions, and often does. It's that killer. But you can't do this on first down, man. We got too much check down, too much CMC. You got to just check it down, take your medicine, and we got 2 other downs to get 10, man.
What's up, twin? Jeez. Somebody said hello to you, twin.
Yeah, the discipline problem. Look at our coverage. Right? Blown coverages, guys open all over the place. It's like, where are these discipline problems coming from? I mean, last year during the first 6-7 games, we had some discipline problems. Then we got, our butts kicked by the Chiefs and all that went away. But at this point, we're on a bye week. We have to live with this for 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then we have to go down to Jacksonville and face, Trevor Sunshine Lawrence and the Jags, who are 6-2. That is not going to be an easy game. And, with all these discipline problems, all these big time discipline problems, who is this team that's on the field? Who are these coaches? Are they the 49ers?
Hey, McNiner, I'll tell you this. One thing about the Jaguars, they do put the ball on the ground. Your boy Trevor Lawrence will fumble and he'll throw an interception. But I do think this again, with our defense, I think we're fatigued too as well. I think last year we had 12 defensive linemen on the team. I think we carried the most defensive linemen in the last several years. That was a staple of ours. When you give big money to some of these guys to be on our defensive line that we see right now, what you lose is depth. When you begin to lose depth on your defensive line and you're not getting the running game going offensively where you are controlling the clock, the first thing that goes away when you're tired is your discipline, is your focus. You get lazy on your technique. And what you're seeing a lot of them now is our big boys, the guys who get paid big money, aren't being disciplined, aren't focusing as well. So defensively, our coaches need to get these guys together. They need to focus for longer. They need to have more endurance. They need to be more composed. And that has been a big issue, And so that's one of the things that I don't like about this team right now. We're not being disciplined. We're not showing any endurance. We are missing our depth, and we're not able to make plays to get off the field when we need to. Like, we got to change that. You know what I'm saying?
And speaking of that, twin, I'm looking
at. Have you noticed how people are? Can I real quick. So have you noticed how people are selling out to stop Christian McCaffrey? All right.
Oh yeah, you got 22 eyes looking at Christian McCaffrey. What I was going to say is,
why are we?
I don't have Hargrave as anything on this stat sheet. But go ahead and finish what you were saying.
So why are we selling out with Christian McCaffrey when they're selling out to stop Christian McCaffrey? Remember Debo last year? We were not last year, but the year before. How are you using him and everything? And then we start the season out and everybody's selling out to stop Debo. And Debo can't do anything, which led to the Christian McCaffrey trade. So how about we use Christian McCaffrey as the decoy, make the defense get out of position for the person who's actually going to get the ball. And then eventually that'll make them see that they can't just focus on one guy that Kyle just wants to continuously feed, even though he's only going to get like 2.7 yards a carry. I don't get it.
And that speaks to the minus of one Debo Samuels, because I'm pretty sure that was the plan the whole time. Once they sell out on one guy, we're going to the other. Once they sell out on this guy, we're going to the other. And with his absence, we're left to not have that second option.
Where's Ronnie Bell? Like, we've seen Brandon Ayuk drop balls, right? So we got a young cat. I wonder how hungry he is. I wonder if he's hungry enough to catch everything that comes in his area. We don't try it, so I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, we don't try it, so I don't know. Kyle, why don't we try? Like today, we were running some two backfields, right? We had Elijah Mitchell and we had Christian McCaffrey both in the backfield. Okay. What I would do is switch Elijah Mitchell out for Jordan Mason and then run that same thing. Jordan Mason up the middle, Christian McCaffrey to the edge. And you just, as a quarterback, you just turn around and deal cards, right? And the defense won't know who to follow until they find the ball in somebody's hand and they've got to look at two of them before they figure it out. So I don't know why we're not doing that. And then it seems like, because once they commit up the middle, then just fake up the middle and hand it to the outside. Once they sell out to the outside, just give it up the middle and fake to the outside. It's holy shit.
Or pre-snap motion, Christian
really
all the way out to the pre-snap motion, Christian all the way out to the edge, and make a linebacker or somebody defend and shift, and then hit him back with a counter right in the middle with Jordan Mason. But Kyle gets his guys, he gets his toy, he gets locked down, and he continuously goes after. You know how his policy is for rookies. He just don't feel comfortable with a rookie. You know, you got to do something extraordinary. I don't know. So I'm very much in your camp on that one. It's out there to do.
Pterodome, I'll say this too as well, real
I guess he's comfortable losing.
I'll say this too, fellas. I think earlier in the game, George Kittle doesn't get involved enough. We use him too much as a god doggone blocker. I believe over the last couple times, whenever we did feature him, he's been productive. I think sometimes he'll make a splash play, and then there'll be 2 series before he even see the ball again.
Yeah.
And this has been consistent with George Kittle over the last several years. And I know Kyle wants to go back to what my mans was saying earlier about featuring CMC, but at the same time, if the gravity is towards CMC, there's open bodies. You know what I'm saying? There's open looks in that middle. There's open opportunities to get George Kittle more involved if we like repeat plays sometimes. Like, dude, if it's not working, keep going to it. You know what I mean? And then that will open up the offense as far as the running game for us. But again, Kyle can sit there and sometimes he's so fixated on a toy that no matter who else is out there, he's going to continue to build a game plan around CMC. And I think his pride and his ego don't let him like adjust sometimes and try something different. So I'm with you guys when it comes to the point
I don't think
where
you can see outside.
Huh?
I don't think he can step back and see outside and look down on the situation. He's got his rose-colored glasses on, and he can't do anything about them. Like,
Yeah,
he can't
and that's
soul
the thing.
search.
Yeah, and that's the thing about him, where sometimes I always scratch my head, because either he get real tight, you know what I mean, and you can feel him overanalyzing. But I think sometimes the game can be a lot more simple. You know, it doesn't have to be all the window dressing. Sometimes you just got a better player. Sometimes George Kittle is just better than the slot or the linebacker that's trying to hold him. You can give him 10 targets today. It may be that type of that type of game. You know, and it might not have to be in the don't wait to the second half. I think in the first half you could have done that and it could have been a lot more productive, but he chose not to because it probably wasn't his game plan coming in. But again, when you identify that there's a weakness in their defense, and until they stop it, to me, you keep hitting that target. It's like in boxing. If they ain't stopping that jab, you ain't got to go to the hook to the body. You tear that joker eye up until he began to raise his hand up and cover himself. You know. But if Kyle say I'm going to be a body puncher, I don't care if that eye is open to me. I'm gonna keep attacking the body. You know what I mean? And so, again, Kyle has to do some soul searching as well.
Why do you think Kittle's so open on those plays? Because he's been staying in blocking the whole time. If you just use that to your advantage and just know, hey, once a series, I'm just going to dial his number up somewhere around midfield or close to midfield, hopefully get a nice chunk play or a third and long. I got something. Well, maybe not a third and long, but it'd probably be like a second down, first down play that you'd want to do it. But yeah, just dial that up, get down the chunk play, get him his stuff, and then let him go back to blocking how you like, because it just protects that whole he's not doing anything. Oh, Brock Purdy up.
Yeah, man, should have handed it off. Simple as that. It was an option play with George coming backside to toss it to him. Once I pulled it to go toss it to him, wasn't there. So I tried making something up and just scrambling to the right. At that point, I got to know that the linemen are downfield, and I just got to try to get what I can get. But to throw the ball in itself would be a penalty, and I got to be better. So I saw Elijah in the corner of the end zone, tried making something happen there, but regardless, it would have been a penalty. So that's on me.
Brock, how you only cleared protocol yesterday? How did you feel? Did you feel like you were 100% or as mentally sharp?
Yeah, no, I felt 100%. All week, my symptoms and stuff weren't as bad compared to many other concussions that the team has had, and I was doing fine and was doing great for each phase of the protocol. And then when I got cleared, we all thought I was going to get cleared, and sure enough, I did. So I felt 100% going into this game.
The game, it looked like you took a pretty hard hit. Your head hit the turf pretty hard. Did that feel anything?
No, yeah, it's just the typical whiplash of a play like that. Head goes back, hits the ground, but it's like any other body part. You get hit and shake it off a little bit. So I'm good from that.
When you guys were 5-0, you were making it a point every week to say, I'm not going to let all this attention define me or who I am or how I go about my job. And maybe it's easier to do that when you're winning, but now you've been tested with 3 straight losses. What's your thinking now?
Yeah. Obviously I want to be better, for this team, for this organization, just taking care of the ball in some crucial parts of the games. That's the NFL, man. It comes down to it. You're not going to just blow teams out every week. You take care of the ball. You got to play good team football. And, that's where I'm at with that. But in terms of, you have 3 losses, and as a quarterback, you take a lot. I take that on myself, where I could be better for this team and helping us win. But man, like who I am and what I stand for, that doesn't change. Everyone can say what they want, but I know who I am as a person, and my faith, my relationship with God is the most important, and I'm going to continue to rely on that. It's got me to this point in my life, and I'll always be with God and stand firm with God. So I know He'll take care of me regardless. So
how would you diagnose? First 5 weeks you go 30 plus every game, last 3 and 17. How would you diagnose what's kind of gone wrong offensively? What are kind of like the main focuses as you go into 5 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's just finishing drives. We'll get the ball moving and we'll start rolling, get first downs, and then there's just some third downs that we got to convert and be better at. Especially down in the red zone, there's points to be put up for us, and whether that's a field goal or obviously converting a third down and continuing the drive to score. Like, it's as simple as that. We're just handcuffing ourselves with certain plays. That's really what it is. But, we'll move the ball and feel good about it, but we just got to continue to finish those drives. It's as simple as that. So, yeah.
Both of the absences of Devo and Trent factor in this lack of depth in the offense?
Honestly, I think the O-line has done a great job. Obviously Trent is probably the best in the league, obviously at his position. So yeah, of course we want Trent out there. Debo as well for how explosive he is. But there's still plays out there we made, and we're still moving the ball. So offense is good. That we have in it is good. To have those guys back would be great. Obviously, they're really good, and we love playing with them, and they bring just a juice and energy to the offense that we need for sure. But yeah, simple as that.
How do you balance playing free, but also pressing in those late game situations where you've had some of those turnovers?
Yeah. There's definitely got to be a fine balance to that. It's like, man, trusting the play, trusting what we're trying to do. The boys trying to get open, the offensive line, the protection, the play call, trusting that. And then, if it's not there, try to make something happen, but don't force it. And clearly, and towards the end of the game, that's what I was doing was, starting to force things and not see things clearly. With the second pick to Ayuk, it's like, man, don't force things and let the game come to you. And if it's not there, then try to make something happen. But even when you're trying to make something happen, be smart with it as well. So definitely a fine line to it, and I had to learn the hard way today.
How do you view having the bye week now?
Say that again.
How do you view having a bye week now with the timing of it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously going into the bye week, it's like, man, you want to win, have some momentum created for the second half of the season. To have a loss like that, it hurts. Now we have to wait 14 days to play our next game for our next shot, our next opportunity, and it hurts. We have a bad taste in our mouth. But at the same time, it's like, man, this is going to be a good time for us to do some reflection, and I think all of us are really hungry for the second half in this stretch that's about to go down. So we'll be ready for it.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Well, I could maybe Brock Purdy might have been. Oh, Fred's up.
Confidence in Brock, even though he struggled the last couple games.
You want me to say no? I mean, come on now. Like, the thing is the quarterback is always going to receive the blunt end of, like, the brunt of the criticism. But Brock is like the least of my worries. Brock is made of the right stuff. Yeah, can he protect the ball better? Sure, but he's the reason why we have a chance to win games in every single game that we're in. Like, right now, I can't, like, the common denominator right now is that I haven't been able to say in the last 3 losses that, man, the defense had our best outing. We just happened to lose. We're not playing good football on our side. And that's the reason why we haven't won the last 3 games. And that's got to get figured out. And it will get figured out. The bye will be great for us. People want to say, oh, man, it sucks. Like, we can't just get the taste out of our mouth after a quick turnaround. Like, we had that opportunity this week, and we didn't get it right. So I'm going to look at it as, a good reset to be able to go into the bye and figure this thing out and get back to playing 49er defense, because right now we're not.
What you just said about the defense is the most of your worries right now. What specifically are the things that are going wrong right now?
Just inconsistency across the board. I think tackling has been an issue when it hasn't been in the past. Players just got to execute at a higher level, including myself. We got to play more as a unit. There's got to be more hunt to the football at all 3 levels. There's got to be more penalty-free football. Like I said, execution got to be higher. We think that we're preparing hard. We think that we're putting a lot of work in. Obviously, we're not doing enough. There's got to be more. There's got to be more there. That's just what it is.
What's the Wi-Fi password?
Yeah, no, we were going to keep
Corey.
it simple this game and rely on our execution to play our coverage and
Corey,
with our rush, and it just wasn't enough today. Playing complementary football, and I'll have to look at the tape to see exactly where we were wrong in that phase.
Complementary football and setting a tone defensively. How damaging do you think that first third down was, where you had 2 defensive linemen missed that sack and Burrow rolled out?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta be better on third and long. Like that's got to be automatic off the field. You know, when we get them backed up in a third and long situation. I think back-to-back weeks we had one last week where it was about a 3rd and 12 and we gave up a check down for a first down in the beginning of the game. Same thing this game. But at the end of the day, like that's not back breaking. Like I think we gotta be better at bouncing back, you know, off of adversity. Like who cares if they get a first down, you know, backed up in that situation early in the game? Like how are we going to respond? You know, like it is what it is.
Mental toughness last week, is that something that's still lacking?
I mean, we haven't shown that we can play from behind and come back and win a football game. So that's something that we got to address and get better at. We can't just be a team that can only win when we're up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that's something we'll look at.
Did you get overconfident after beating Dallas by 32?
Not at all. I don't think so. I think after we won that game and we're going into the Browns, I mean, I think every single week the mindset is just to go 1-0, like give your all to like just win one game. You know what I'm saying? And it's like to say that the mindset shifted after going starting 5-0. I really don't think so. It just isn't enough. And the easy thing right now to do is to say, you know, is to tuck away somewhere. Stuff is hard. You're down 3-0, you know, kind of hide in the corner. But I promise, like that's not the type of guys that we got. That's not who I am. I know I'm going to stand tall. I'm going to continue to rally the team. I'm going to continue to show up and put the most work in I can. And words are great. You know, I'm not trying to sit here and just give you a speech, but like actions obviously got to lead first. So that's just what we're going to do.
He's got some criticism, Steve Wilkes. I know you don't, you know, he's the coach. That's the life you lead. But what do you think about the way he's coordinated? He said that he's kind of learning the defense. Do you think there's an adjustment period still going on?
Yeah, that's at least my words. Honestly, I think players win games, not coaches. I think he's done a great job. I think right now the issue is, I mean, there's going to be ebbs and flows in the season, especially with a new defense coordinator. I think the offensive side has gone through that as well when we lost McDaniel. You know, like even though Kyle is the play caller, like when you lose a coach, there's going to be adjustments being made throughout the season. So we got to continue to work on that. But at the end of the day, players are going to be the reason that we win games. We got to execute at a higher level, player-wise.
The tackle this year hadn't been much here at all since you've been here. What do you think you put your finger on for why the issue the last few weeks?
Nothing I can really put my finger on. I'm not going to make excuses for why we're missing tackles. We got to tackle better.
Leaders of the defense. What can you say? What did you say to your defensive teammates today?
I said to the defense and to the entire team, it was, I mean, this is it. Like, we didn't have a game after this. Like, this was our season right here. There's one game. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, knowing that we had a bye going into next week, just emptying the tank for one game. And it obviously wasn't enough. Okay.
Howdy. What are you guys doing back there?
George Kittle, obviously.
I love that.
How'd your left knee do when you do that?
Turf last week in Minnesota got me. Those turf snakes, man. Goodness gracious. That slit turf. Pretty sure it's like one of 4 slit turf fields left and statistically the most dangerous turf to play on. So it's all right, though. I'll be all right.
Put that out there.
What's going on with this offense? 17 points, 3 games in a row. Is there a common element why you're not scoring more points?
Turnovers, I would say. I don't know. I don't read the stats every single week. I don't feel like as an offense we're running the ball a lot or very much or very well, I think is my number one thing. It just doesn't feel like it. You know, we might. I don't know what the stats are. I know that ever since I've been a 49er, you know, outside zone has been like our number one thing. And I just don't know. We know we've penalties the last 3 weeks, so it's kind of hard to run the ball when it's 1st and 20, 2nd and 15. Like, it's hard to run the ball in those situations, so we have to rely on the pass. And when you have to rely on the pass, it makes you one-dimensional. And one of the best things that we do is run the football. And we just put ourselves in a situation where we can't run the football. And whether that's turnovers, whether that's penalties, whether it's getting down in the fourth quarter, there's no like, hey, what is going to fix this, right? We have a very good, talented football team. We have good coaches, and we're just not winning the game right now. And to me, just being a tight end that usually like tip of the spear, we got to run the football outside zone. I just don't think we've been able to do that because of penalties and turnovers. And us being a one-dimensional football team isn't very good.
Several of those turnovers. What are you seeing from Brock? What did you see from Brock today?
I mean, Brock's the reason we're in every single game. Brock's the reason we win football games. He's our quarterback. He's a very skilled football player. I think Kyle probably said it. His first interception, that's a shovel play. He's supposed to either pitch it to me or hand it off. And, I think he might have predetermined it and tried to, give me a shot at the shovel, but it wasn't there. And then you try to make a play and, hey, they made a better play. I mean, I don't sit back there. Quarterbacks, there's two positions in football I would never want to play, and that's quarterback and cornerback. So those are, two tough positions. And I don't want, the only thing I'd ask Brock to do is, hey, man, try not to throw interceptions. I don't know. Turnovers are hard. Like, I'm not going to put myself back in his shoes and say, oh, I wouldn't have made that throw. I don't know what it takes to play quarterback. I don't play that position. All I know is that it's hard to win football games when you lose a turnover battle, which we've done 2 weeks in a row. And we obviously just have to play better. And we have to put ourselves in situations where we can run the football more and we don't have to throw the ball so many times. One thing I love about Brock is he's very hard on himself, and he's very like, he can look in the mirror and say, hey, I need to play better. I'm not going to say that he needs to play better. He needs to turn the ball over less. And, he's going to be fine. I'm not worried about Brock. He's the reason that we win football games as an offense. You see the 30 points a game in the first 5 weeks. That's Brock Purdy. It's Kyle Shanahan scheming us up and doing a bunch of stuff, but that's Brock making plays. I mean, and you see Brock, was that the drive to get us, get it kind of close. It was, he makes all these awesome rollout plays and he's throwing it back across his body, giving us an opportunity to win. That's what Brock does. And he's going to get better from this. I think we're going to get better from this. I know we're going to get better from it. And you look back, hey, last year, I think we were sitting at 3-4. We had Christian McCaffrey, added that. We still lost. And we're like, oh, what do we need to fix? We just need to play better. And that's our overall theme. We just need to play better. And I also, losing your third game going into a bye week, God, that's not really fun. But the good news is it kind of, you sit on that and it's going to fester and it's going to be really annoying. And am I going to be able to enjoy my bye week? I will. But the back of my head is just going to be like, let's stop losing. And how am I going to be better? What can I do better? And there's like 3 or 4 plays that I probably could have been better in that football game. And, we'll come back and we'll look at the film and I'm going to play better. No, I don't think it's a confidence thing. You look at we go to Cleveland, and I wouldn't say overconfident. We should be confident because of the players and staff that we have. Like, I'm not worried about that. I think it's you look at Cleveland. What do we have? 15 penalties. You can't win a football game with 15 penalties and multiple turnovers. Like, I mean, you can. It's just really. And then, we had an opportunity to win at the end. We didn't. And I don't think it's an overconfidence thing. I think it's man, I can't give you an answer on why we're losing. Besides turnovers, I don't think we're running the ball enough, and situationally, I don't think we can run the ball because of the situation we're putting ourselves in. And no, I mean, also I think we have an offense with explosive players all over the football field, and we can win these games. And we had an opportunity down there. We're at 17-10, and hey, we have a turnover. Turnovers really hurt you, and I'm not gonna. There's no point of fingers like that. Like, your players, the plays that can be made all over the football field, but it's hard to win football games when you have 3 turnovers.
This is when this team is rolling, keep it going. Is it weird to start so well and didn't have this, as opposed to maybe starting slow and finishing strong?
I mean, losing's weird in general. I hate it. It sucks. I'd much rather win. But years past, like we backed ourselves into a corner, backs against the wall, whatever it was. And we dug down and we went on runs and we're able to put ourselves in positions to get into the playoffs. And what's football without a little adversity? You don't want it to be easy all the time. You want to go through these grimy games, these crappy games, I guess. You'd prefer to win them, but I think we have the team, we have the men on this team that are going to respond well to adversity. We're going to do our best, and we're going to go out there and we're going to play at a higher level. We're going to play better.
The outside zone.
Hmm?
Our team, our defense is selling out to stop that more so than maybe they may have in the past.
I don't know. I mean, first play of the game was outside zone, went for 8 yards. You can sell out against it. There's certain plays that we run them better than anybody else. It's a copycat league. You see people run them all over the league, and they don't run them nearly as well as us. You don't have the offensive line, the tight ends, the fullback, the running back that runs like we do, wide receivers that block downfield like we do. Like I said, I love running outside zone because when you have outside zone, you get to run play action, bootlegs, keepers, all that off of it. And when you have turnovers and you have penalties, you're playing behind the sticks, you're playing down, it's hard to run the football and get access to all those plays. And so we need to be cleaner up front early on so then we can continue to run the football, run outside zone, run some gap scheme, and be the physical 49ers offense that we know and love. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
That was real as rain. That was 100%. That was a football man there. That was a football man. That man understands the concepts. That man knows his stuff. That's exactly it.
Not only that, but he discussed about the offensive side, which is what he has control over, and he didn't, say anything about defense other than, hey, we need to run the ball and stop turnovers. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to talk about them. Fred Warner was just up here talking about that. He knows more than I, so you listen to him. I'm going to tell you about what we need to do on the offense. I appreciated that.
Accountability and really good. Yeah, that was stellar, man. It does depend on not getting into situations where you're first and 20, first and 15, second and 20. The thing that makes us, man, is the setup of the run, the gap schemes, and the zone read and the counters off of that. And when the San Francisco 49ers can't do that, you become, it's out of your hands now. You a different team.
Okay. I'm about to close it down because I'm going to go be with my family. They're here.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Happy birthday, Corey Davis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No more sports.
Have a better birthday. Yeah, sir.
What you have planned for this week?
God, a whole bunch of depression for the next 2 weeks, probably. Well, hopefully we'll have the game going tomorrow, right? Monday. I don't know how you're feeling. Corey called me last Thursday. He's like, I'm not feeling it. And I was like, cool. I wasn't feeling it either. If Corey's not going on, I wasn't feeling like going on. So I just erased the stream. But hopefully Monday we'll be back at it. We should have Bring the Heat also.
Who's playing tomorrow, Brian?
Who was it? I haven't made the graphic yet.
It's the Lions versus the
Lions.
Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders and Lions.
Yep, that's going to be fun.
I'll be making the graphic later. So
I saw Kirk Cousins getting carted off. Does anybody have an update on him?
Ankle or Achilles?
No, he's out for the year. He busted his Achilles.
Oh man, Minnesota just had a good win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no.
So don't know if he'll be playing again.
Did anybody see Will Levis? Will Levis went out, came out and threw for. Yeah, he threw for like 4 touchdowns.
Put the Vikings back up.
Yep.
I think he was essentially maybe even third string, or they hadn't clearly named a second because they had Malik Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis.
Anyway.
Yeah, Malik Willis,
Yeah,
isn't
Malik
that No, he's on the Titans.
Yeah. So it was Tannehill, Malik Willis, I believe, and then Levi or Will Levis.
They didn't
and
use was it Sudfeld there too? We traded Sudfeld up there.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I just know that he somehow, you would think Malik Willis would have been the second the second string quarterback because he came in last year, and has a year under his belt. You would think that would normally be the case. That was just my assumption. Nobody said who would be getting the start before the game, kind of, like earlier this week, no one was talking about who was going to start. So it was kind of up in the air. So I believe Will Levis started. I'm not sure. I just knew that he was in the game from early on and was lighting things up.
Will Levis started. Tannehill didn't even throw a pass, dude. 19 for 29, 238 yards, 4 TDs.
Yep.
Wow.
I heard something that Ryan Tannehill has only thrown 2 touchdowns in the entirety of the season so far this year.
Really?
And that Will Levis doubled it in one outing.
Alistair Zaire,
Okay.
Aziz, 11 tackles.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. David McNiner.
Yo.
Did y'all have me on show tomorrow?
Yes, it is on the Stay Faithful podcast, Niners Coast to Coast. Yeah, it's on Ty Austin's channel, Stay Faithful podcast, and it's
Shout out to
probably not going to be full of much good. Let's be honest here. That's what happened. I might be doing a quick live rant after this. I'm still undecided, but I might be.
You should.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Put it on tape. Put it on tape.
I'll jump on. Yeah.
So y'all make sure y'all subscribe to David McNiner and No Border Sports channel. Plus, David McNiner, he might be going live after me, and y'all can go over there. John Jay, what you have plans for tomorrow?
Monday reaction. It's going to be fun. All my shows are in the morning now. So, because my new work schedule, not sure what to say about this game. Just hopefully we can bounce back. But yeah, that's all I'm doing this week. All my early shows on my channel.
Okay. Terradome.
Well, I when I jumped on, I went on and joined streams with you. So mine is streaming now as well. So the Terradome Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 Eastern. Tuesdays ought to be really, really good because I know and I can already see in the chat it's Brock Purdy. And y'all know how much I think of that young man. So I'm here for the smoke. We'll chop it up. But we're gonna go for the entirety of it. It's what's called blame pie, and we're gonna blame a bevy of things. So it'll be very, very good.
Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Thank you all the people that popped in, and thank you, Twin. Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. And
Happy
make sure y'all
birthday.
subscribe to Twin Empires channel 2 and Jason Massey. I forgot to tell you, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Jace. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean it to be that loud. It was still from. Sorry.
So let's have a good day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day. I know this day wasn't like we wanted it to be. We wanted to win, and we didn't get it. So now we 6-5-3. Now, hopefully, after the bye week, we got everything fixed. All we do is pray. We got weeks. So please, if I was coach, they ain't getting no bye week. They ain't getting no days off.
No days
we
off.
Working.
Yes, sir.
We working. I'm sorry.
I hear that.
No, I'll be working them. Stay faithful. Have fun. Win or lose. Win or lose, we're still there.
Go 49ers and F the Lambs. Yep.
Deuces, everybody.
We're fucked.
John Day.